Ron Harris here from musculardevelopment.com. Totally wrapping up this time. Coverage of the New York Pro. Coverage brought to you by High Tech Pharmaceuticals. I should note that we're in Tampa, Florida, not New York. Here with Milos the Mind Sarcev. Boy, what a show. What a show. I'm going to go through a couple divisions super fast. Just want to say women's bodybuilding was won by Mela Ash. She looked great. Everybody looked great. Figure. Pro figure was won by Nicole Zenobia Graham from New York, who won the Linda Murray show last week in Savannah. Okay. And we'll do bodybuilding last, don't worry. And bikini was won by, no surprise, Brazil's Etila, Santiago Santos. Once I saw her name in the lineup, I was like, okay, there's your winner. All right, guys, let's get to bodybuilding. Okay, so we're going to go down. 6th place, Patrick Moore. No real surprise there. I mean, I thought he kind of got outmassed today. Just didn't have the fullness of a thickness of some of the other guys. Is that where you would have had Patrick?
Yeah, he has a beautiful physique, great shape, good conditioning, right? But just not enough muscle. So after all, as Chris Aceto said, it's a muscle show. So you do have to look for this density, fullness, thickness. And yeah, he was a little light, especially a little bit short torso, longer legs, and legs didn't have enough volume. So it would appear as a weakness in many poses.
Yeah. Okay, moving on to 5th place, Max Charles.
Yes.
I don't know what you want to say.
Yeah. Well, I have to just say, Max Charles need a little bit more sweep on the thighs, a little bit more separation, and a lower back. Yeah. It's assessment is quite accurate.
Yeah.
But would that weakness be enough to be judged down because of his incredible muscle density, hardness that is apparent from the airplane, right? Yeah. That conditioning and everything else to be marked down.
I mean, bodybuilding comes down to nobody's got a perfect physique. Yeah. So I guess you look for the guy with the least amount of flaws because these guys are all incredible. 4th place, Hassan Mustafa. I was looking at him closer after we talked earlier after judging. And I did notice structure is probably his biggest flaw. He doesn't have really wide clavicles. He's built so much muscle that it's hard. You wouldn't really know unless you took a good look that he doesn't have the widest clavicles. He doesn't have a natural V taper, but he's so thick, so dense.
Thick, dense, so much muscle. I talked to Chris Aceto, and I said what I noticed about Hassan. He was super impressive. Actually, if he won the show, I wouldn't have a problem with it. This is how good he is. Front relax coming out, he would crunch down instead of open up.
Yeah, he rounds his shoulders instead of spreading them out.
So front lat spread, the same thing. So those are the poses where you can show you a V-taper width, and it would make it so much more aesthetic. I think that was a kind of mistake. He was in good condition, so much muscle, no weaknesses really, just that V-taper. So again, your weakness is, okay, you don't have maybe enough V-taper, you have so much muscle, thick delts, thick chest, thick legs. This is a question that's how if you're penalizing for weaknesses, which weakness takes more points?
I mean, I thought his condition was better a few hours ago at the judging. Yeah. So it looked to me like he faded or blurred out a little bit for tonight.
Well, you see, again, those are the differences. Even when I talked to Chris Aceto, for example, he thinks that Justin Rodriguez had a good conditioning.
Yes.
In the morning, when I say I didn't see it, I called it that this is not good conditioning by my standards. Tonight, he improved and he made me a little bit a believer. Yeah, he has this incredible front double biceps, back double biceps, that V-taper. It is impressive. Again, I don't think that conditioning was spectacular. Yeah. If you ask me, he was moved up. I think maybe he was third behind John De La Rosa after prejudging.
After judging, it looked to me like they had him somewhere around 5th or 6th, maybe even.
Yeah, but I think that John was probably top 2 at the time. And this is my argument also. I think that John was really in the guest posing shape. Yeah. And I mean, some guys are gonna.
It looked to me like he was in the running to win this based on the call-outs today. And tonight, the way they did the call-outs for judging didn't seem like they had him in the running to win at all.
I agree with this, but you see, I would be shocked. Yeah, I would be shocked. And I mean, Okay, Sean Ray is sitting right next to me, and we talk about it. This is not even against posing shape, really. It's we would say 6 weeks out, some say 10 weeks out.
Wow.
Really, this is my judgment. And he has a complete physique, nice shape. Yes, conditioning was way off.
Okay.
Yeah, in my opinion.
I mean, I'm just curious. You've seen him a few times. Do you remember ever seeing him in like the type of condition that you wanted to see him in?
Last two shows that he won. Actually, I haven't been to those shows. I didn't see it live, but I've seen the videos and pictures.
Toronto and Puerto Rico.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah. And at that time, you could see like striations, and you can see like hardness. You can see the dryness, density. He displayed conditioning in those. This would be okay for me. Good starting point, 10 weeks out.
Yeah. Okay, so runner-up Justin Rodriguez.
Yes.
He was a guy. Again, in the judging, it didn't look like they had him close to Ian
initially,
at all.
yes. I think he gained momentum, and they kept moving him up. And I actually appreciated this in a confirmation round today. Actually, they gave a lot of call-outs, which I was afraid is not going to happen.
Yeah.
But this is that opportunity that everybody's looking for. So everybody had that second or third chance. And I think that Justin Rodriguez took a huge advantage of it, and he was moving up to the point that, some people saw him winning.
I mean, I thought it was very, very close. He's got spectacular shape, tons of size. Condition-wise, I don't think him and Ian were very different condition-wise.
Yeah, and neither of them in phenomenal condition. There was fair condition, but I guess that's a standard nowadays. You pretty much expect it. We always talk about this 90s conditioning, and by those standards, you're way off. That's what I'm talking from a 90s perspective. So for me, that's off, right? But I guess nowadays, this is accepted.
People think, you're not that much older than me, but I remember all those shows, and you didn't see people out of shape. And the standard for conditioning with you, with Levroni, with Andreas Munzer, for God's sake, I mean, it was a higher standard of conditioning across the board. It really was.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned this 1999 Olympia, all the way down to the last place, and Jake Cutler was 15th, if you remember.
Yeah.
In incredible condition, and he's very proud of that conditioning. He plays 15th. 97 compared to 98, 99, you can put the top 10. Everybody's conditioning was spot on. And we're talking about super lean, thin skin, great conditioning as far as fullness is there, dryness is there, muscularity. Nowadays, really. Even I told you after prejudging, I think Ian is going to win.
Yeah.
And even his conditioning, while way improved from his Tampa showing, he was still to wish for a little bit more. Most muscular, right? You need more density, more striations, more fullness, abs, shallow, back. There was a lot of things to wish for, but. He was my pick after prejudging, So.
Well, we just interviewed him, and his coach Patrick Tour said Tampa Pro was 60% of what I want to see. This was 85%. So for the Olympia, they want that extra 100%. They still need another 15%.
Yeah, I mean, what does that mean? What does it mean?
15.2%.
I'm gonna prepare you for this show, and we're gonna go 60%. Then I'm gonna prepare you for this, and now we're gonna do this and that, and it's gonna be 80. And now we're gonna go for 100.
He was just rating his condition.
No, but you always go for 100, right? Yeah. And then if it didn't happen, then how do you explain that? Yeah, he needs to bring more to be. Considered, for top 10 contender, he would need to bring much more condition in this.
Because the 2018 Olympia, he's only been Olympia once 2 years ago, and he was 14th place, and that condition was really good. So, he's going to have to step up his game.
Yes.
Anybody that didn't make the top 6 that you would like to mention at all?
Well, no, I was, when you're in these shows, you really focus on your guys. I know that what's his name? Dwayne Walker will impress me.
Walker,
before now, this is the first time I've seen him. Yeah, he still needs some growing up to do. Like he needs a thicker quads. More muscle overall to become contender. But beautiful shape. I've seen. He had a good posing. Antoine.
Antoine Vaillant. Crazy posing routine.
Crazy posing routine. Crazy body parts. I saw him going into the show in much better condition, and then something happened that he wasn't impressive, but super entertaining routine, great movement, great choices of new poses never seen before.
Yeah.
So I commend him for putting so much effort into presentation.
Because we get sleepy sometimes. These shows can be
Yes.
boring, and somebody that really wakes the crowd up,
Yes.
like a Kai Green, something like that.
He actually did a few of those Kai Green poses, kneeling and lunging. I was just waiting to do the headstand.
And then he had the crazy techno music. That was pretty cool. Anyway, that's it, man. It was a really good show. I didn't expect the New York Pro, because of all the delays and everything going on. I didn't expect the quality to be this good, but I'm so glad it was. This was a real high-quality show, I thought.
Yeah.
And, I want to thank you so much for your opinions because you're
Yes. Yeah.
you're not afraid. Yeah. Well, that will do it, guys. That's it. There's no more coverage tonight, okay? It's over. It's been a long day and night. So that wraps up our coverage of the New York Pro, brought to you by High Tech Pharmaceuticals. Thank you again, Milos the Mind Sarcev. Special shout out behind the scenes back in New York, Jen Gerisi, Widmark. Hell of a job, Jen, and the other people there helping you on the MD team. Couldn't do it without you guys. Everybody out there, we appreciate you guys watching, following the play-by-play and all that. We'll see you next time.